Welcome back to Road to KSP2. I am aware that just says title. Yeah. Anyway, if you could please like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Yeah, it would be great. Today's actually going to be a very interesting one. We're going to start off with CSTM, which stands for Castillo de San Marcos, but it's also our new launch vehicle. Yep, you heard that right. It's a new reusable launch vehicle, and it is very powerful, capable of getting 50 tons to orbit and be reusable. Yeah, so it could probably get up to, I believe, around 80 tons to orbit, expendable, which is incredible, especially for our program. And while it is expensive, we do recoup almost all of those costs because of how accurately we can land this thing. We get, I believe, like 98% of the costs on this one. Yeah, it's pretty good, and I'm gonna try and get it down so we can actually land at the launch site next time. This payload in particular was very heavy. It was the full 50 tons. These 50 tons are going to the foundry and will be docked as the some of the tank storage. Now, see all of those little service bays or whatever right there as it's floating away. That's actually filled with a metal container for I believe extra planetary launch pads, which just looks horrible. It's not even close to stock alike, so I just put it inside of all of those, and it fits perfectly fine. Anyway, now you're gonna see me deorbit the rocket, the CSTM, and yeah, it's actually pretty impressive, at least I believe, as it's coming down over the city here. So yeah, it uses 3 of its engines down on the back end there to help slow itself down. And then it deploys parachutes, and it has, which I'm going to have to fix with like a thing, because as soon as it starts getting closer to the surface, it starts spinning, which we definitely do not need. But yeah. We've got aero brakes, we've got the grid fins, and yeah, it was awesome. We finally are landing them on land now, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, now we are launching this section out to Duna. At least, not Duna. Why did I say that? I was thinking about Duna. Never mind. This is not going to Duna. This is going out to the foundry, which is like very high. It's further into space than our moon. Yeah, it is quite the impressive station, and it will become more and more impressive as I add pieces to it. This is our first mission since we went broke that, you know, we weren't like full, like we actually had enough money to spend on actually doing something, which is pretty nice. Yeah. So we get everything all figured out, and we are now heading out. Well, we're about to head and reach the space station. Now, as you can see, we definitely do not have enough fuel for this burn. What we do is what we did in the last episode is just fire those monopropellant jets till we actually reach it. Just like in the last episode, this took way too long and was not a very good method of actually getting there. But, I mean, we did get there eventually. The biggest issue was like just launching this behemoth of a thing. It's filled with liquid fuel, and actually it won't be filled with liquid fuel after this burn because I started to jettison some of the liquid fuel out. But as you can see right here, see there, I jettisoned 2 of the tanks of liquid fuel. It's filled with rocket parts, which are heavy. Yeah, so it's just, it took way too long for us to actually, like, well, actually, it's perfectly fine. And it's also a very good looking part, and I'm very happy with how it came out. I believe in the next episode, we might be trying to launch maybe a, well, I actually don't even know. It might have to go down to what our next mission, how our next mission turns out, and you'll see that in a minute here. But now we actually have our encounter here, which will be real good because we'll actually be able to reach the foundry. Now look at that thing. Yep. Man, that thing is starting to get big, and you can see the blue part of it from a long ways away. But now that we're close, I decided to control it with the side docking port, which did produce some challenges because I was completely unready for that. But it was okay, and it helped me, well, it'll just help the station look better. I also figured out how to do auto strut since the last video. That is very helpful. Auto strut is so nice. Yeah. Anyway, the main, so the ends of this will actually be not a, well, actually, I think the sections that will be directly connecting to this portion will be more tank sections, but connecting to those will actually be the solar and heat dissipation system, which will be very useful while building rockets and such, which is gonna be real nice. So yeah, there I am making sure everything's all good. And yeah. Now I was seeing how many rocket parts that we need. We only have 1700 up there, so we need a whole lot more, but that is fine. We'll launch those in coming episodes. But now we are about to swap over to Artemis 7. Oh, it hasn't popped up yet. Oh, it's taking really long. Yeah. Anyway, we're hopping over to Artemis 7, which launched 11 years ago. Now, I'll just put on the screen what episode we launched Artemis 11 in, or Artemis 7 in, but it was a long time ago. And yeah, we needed an engineer, and Bill Kerman answered the call. Finally left the surface. I looked for the capsule, but I couldn't seem to find it. But that's fine. So I targeted the space station, and we headed off, or more likely Bill headed off. It's Bill, right? Either way, yeah. So we started off by just messing with these nodes here. It was kind of difficult. Then I just decided, hey, let's just leave the influence of the moon, or the Minmus. The moon Minmus. That's fine. Also realized how much of a waste it was leaving those bottom sections on the Mun. Like, we definitely could have taken those up like I am now, but I was worried about like the overall fuel consumption and stuff like that. But like, we shouldn't have been worried. Those things, they're fucking tanks. Like, those things hold a lot of fuel. Anyway, here we are exiting the sphere of influence of Minmus, and we're heading off to create our encounter with the space station. Yep, here we are. At least I believe we're at the moment. Yep, there it is, directly above. We're gonna fire our engines so that we go directly at it. And we're going to do one of our very, very nice moves. Since we cannot dock this, since it is a smaller craft, I decided to slow build down while the other part of it moved past fast, and slow ourselves down and pilot our way to the ship. Now, for some reason, our SAS was on, which meant we kept looking down, but that's fine. It didn't really hinder us too much. And then, yeah, there we go. Bill is back with the ship. Yeah, that's great. Now we can actually start to build things once we actually have the parts that we need. But we finally have an engineer, and he's actually our only engineer. We have made a lot of pilots, but we haven't exactly needed engineers. Also, you saw the tank that I was talking about earlier, the hex tank. Yeah, those things are a pain. And here I am just messing around with the controls. I don't exactly know how it works, but I will be figuring that out in the coming days. Yeah, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.